Welcome to our 8th and final video as part of this Above Down Inside Out series. I sincerely hope first and foremost that you have enjoyed these videos, that you found it a little bit entertaining, but also valuable. So thank you very, very much for all of your time, all of your attention in going through this one. So as we're going to just round all of this information up here and kind of summarize a few little concepts, this one here is just sort of reinforcing few of those topics that's going to be necessary for you to actually accomplish the things in your life, your health that you desire. What it requires, simply put, is that you're working from inside out. Remember, as we said way back, as within, so without, as above, so below. This is natural law. This is the principle. It happens no other way. So who we are on the inside will reflect into our outer reality. This means that we have to be the human being that we were born to be. It's a bit of a weird expression if you actually think about it. There's no such thing as a dog being. There's no such thing as a cat being. But it's a human being. What does that mean to be a human being? Well, you remember we talked about 3 different levels of our brain: medulla, survival, amygdala, emotions, and then cortex, the upper part, the part that's got creativity, vision, the ability to create, the ability to see. Which part of your brain are you working from? Are you just reacting? Are you letting your emotions run the game? Or are you being the conscious creator of your own life? You're thinking about things, and we're all allowed to have our little moments. But by being deliberate in our approach, are you creating the reality that you desire? That's what it means to be a human being. Question then, who's ultimately responsible? Now, in the US, if there's any error that I think might have been done in the Bill of Rights, is it really should have been the Bill of Rights and Responsibilities. Just because you may have the God-given right to be able to do something doesn't mean necessarily that you can do it without, conscious awareness of other people. So my point being, as it relates then to your health, your well-being, you were born to be healthy. You have that God-given innate potential within you through your genetics, through your anatomy, to be 100% well. Whatever that 100% is for you. But you can't hand off that responsibility then to anybody else. Not your doctor, not your accountant, not your insurance provider, not your government, not me, not your spouse, not your parents, not your children. Ultimately, that responsibility lies with you. You may indeed seek counsel from any of these outside sources. But where does the source of healing come from? It comes from within you, provided there's no interference in its function. That essential understanding is the only way that we can actually make a change in the world when it comes to health and well-being. See, our culture is designed so that we're thinking all the time health is coming from outside in, and that all you need for your savior. You need somebody to give you that one missing thing that you need at a given moment, and you'll be able to be healthy and well. As we've talked about throughout the course of these videos, number 1, there is not just one thing. Number 2, it doesn't come from outside in. And number 3, nobody can give that to you anyway. Far better if we each take the responsibility for ourselves. As the philosopher Dr. Nathaniel Brandon would say, act as if nobody is coming to save you. What would you have to do? How is it that you are being responsible for your own self, your own health, your own future, your life? What if it all depends on you showing up? Taking responsibility for the circumstances that are present. Remember, your present circumstances are a reflection of your past, either consciously or unconsciously. You can't change it. but your future will be a reflection of the conscious and unconscious decisions that you make right now. I hope then that over the course of these videos, we've been able to give you with some opinion, yes, but also some fact that's going to be rooted in natural law, because you can't change the law, whether you like it or not. This is the nature of the physical and the energetic reality in which we exist. And when we work with natural law, that increases the probability of success into the future. So hopefully by sharing again the opinion, but also the true reality, that is going to give you the resources that you need so that you can improve the quality of your choices, so that you know which of the different areas of your life you need to focus on, so that you know that by doing so, procedurally, it's going to ensure that you will get to that outcome that you inevitably desire. And that we've given you a few strategies so that you can actually know if you are actually working and going in that right direction. Again, there's a lot of possibility out there and a lot of information, indeed, even within our own life. We've got those 8 different elements as part of the wheel. We've got the 5 elements of our health. So even health is not just the one thing. And we've got all of the different sources of stress that can come at us from the outside. But the truth is how do we perceive that stress from the inside? That is the biggest determinant in terms of how that's going to express itself. Important to know and to recognize that we are effectively 2 beings within the one body, where we're both the physical, but then also the mental. But recognizing that at the truth and at the source of it all comes from one place. It comes from the bigness that is life in the universe. We are all very much a part of that. We can't disconnect. Try as we might, try as we would, wish that we could at certain times. We are all part of a bigger universe. And if we look, rather than trying to conquer, trying to overcome, trying to be better than, trying to egotistically achieve, that if we can be humble enough to quiet ourselves, to be able to listen to the innate voice, the innate wisdom that comes from within us, from above down, from inside out, that will actually help move us in the direction for the life of our dreams. So you see, what we're talking about here is much bigger than just health, because when we understand this natural law, this principle, it affects not only our physical well-being, it affects our mental well-being, which goes on in turn to affect everything around us. Question is, now that you know this, what are you going to do with this knowledge? What are you going to do with this wisdom? Because it does nothing to just stay, for you to keep doing all of the same things that you have been doing and expect a different outcome. There's an expression that I particularly like. It's that before you can be great at anything, you've got to be good. Before you can be good, you've got to be bad. And before you can be bad, you just got to do something. You've just got to do something different. As Dr. Joe Dispenza again says, he says that the way that you change your brain, the way that you change your reality is simply put by making different decisions. I have tried in the course of these videos to give you a few principles to help you out so that you can make wiser choices, wiser decisions that are going to help bring you to where you want to go. Does that mean that you're going to get it in a straight shot? There's going to be no complications. It's going to be easy? No. There will be moments where you fall down. There will be dead ends along the way. That's the nature of life. Nobody's got it all figured out. I know I certainly don't. But it's the willingness and the ability to be wrong. It's the willingness and the ability to make mistakes. But how then we respond to those mistakes, that's what defines us. Remember, our character is not the successes we have or even our failures. It's how we respond in the moment where we do have our success, when we do have our failures. Do we keep doing the right things? Do we help build other people up? Do we get ourselves back up? And do we create a world or reality around us to where people are literally gravitated towards us as if we're something special? Not necessarily that we're special, but we are working consciously, deliberately, as human beings to create and to shape the life that we actually desire. It's a very powerful, it's a very palpable thing. When you are working with source, when you're working with natural law, amazing things happen. It doesn't mean that all of the problems of the world go away. It doesn't even mean that all of the problems that can go on in your body necessarily go away. Again, if there are a number of significant things, no amount of positive thinking or well-wishing is going to change what's going to require human action. Again, we live in a physical universe. We still have to respect the physical laws. But because it all starts from the mental realm, it all starts with thought, it all starts with energy, it all starts with the nature of what we understand as the universe, we have to work with those laws rather than against them. That is the only way that humanity has ever accomplished any of the amazing technological things that we have. It's because we have a better understanding of physics, of chemistry, of biology, and that's what's propelled us to be able to make the advances that we have. Now, when it comes to biology especially, there is still so much. There is so terribly much that we don't understand. And I really wish that I did, or I could even begin to give you all of the answers, half of the answers. I don't have the answers for you. The answers for you, they come from within. Nevertheless, by able to follow, hopefully, some of the frameworks, some of the ideas that I've been able to present to you in these videos, that you're going to find something where it's going to resonate and you'll just recognize there's truth in that, and that's going to help me. If you take away even one thing from these videos, it's going to help to improve the quality of your health, the quality of your life, then all of this certainly has been very, very much well worth it. It's been my pleasure to be able to do and to put this together, this video series here for you. Again, hope you found it informative, valuable, also a little bit entertaining, despite my own little faults, flaws, things like that. Better done than perfect. So I look forward to hearing from your successes here. Again, thank you very, very much. At the end of these videos, I've shared with you my various contact details. If you ever need to or want to get in touch, you have any questions, please don't hesitate reaching out to me. Also, if you did find that these particular videos were valuable, please share them with other people. Really, the only way that any of us are going to make a change in the world is by willing to step up, share again our knowledge, our experience, our wisdom, so that we might be able to influence and shape the world around us. We might only be one person, each and every one of us, but if each and every one of us takes even that little step out to help, to inspire, to give hope to others, that ultimately is how we're going to change the world here. It's been a pleasure doing these videos for you, and I look forward to hearing from you down the track. Take care then. Bye. Hi, everyone out there, and thank you again for taking your time to watch all of these videos that we've put together for you. What I wanted to do is just put together like a little informal one kind of at the end. Yeah, I could have done more of a summary review of you, but you've got the opportunity to go back, rewatch all of these videos. So I wanted to just do a little bit more of an informal chat, let you know a little bit about myself and where I was coming from with putting these videos together. So firstly, a bit about me. I am what's known as an upper cervical chiropractor. So this is somebody who specializes in effectively the relationship of the top vertebra in the neck and how that affects your nervous system and how it relates to head, neck, full body, posture, and a variety of different balance, neurological issues, things like that. Now, this was, believe it or not what I thought I was originally going to be getting into. A bit of my background. My dad's a chiropractor, so I always wanted to help people. But I thought I would be doing it a lot of the general same kind of way, like a lot of other people do. But I had an experience when I was still training where I was quite very wowed and realized, you know what, I have to, go this particular pathway with my life to be able to help people out like this. So I've been in practice at the time of this recording now, quite a bit over 15 years. I have, in that time, I've written a book on the subject. Yay me. I have gone ahead and I'm an advanced instructor with what's known as the Blair Upper Cervical Society. So I teach a lot of other chiropractors how to do this particular kind of work as well. But in this same period of time, what I want to say, despite, all of these, fancy professional accolades, I'm also a patient, me personally. I, like everybody else, am human. And as much as we oftentimes think of our doctors as being, these infallible people, the reality is we're not. A bit of my background, I was a forceps delivery. And so as a little kid, I was very frequently sick, and I did, quite very well for a number of years. Diet for me was always a very big factor and still is. But I've also, experienced a number of different challenging issues, in and of myself. So most kind of symptoms that, people can think of and experience, I may not have gotten the full, bang of everything, but I have certainly gotten a taste of that. I have certainly had the frustrations and the moments of feeling, when I'm at my wit's end. And this is, with the supposed knowledge and maybe even an occasional bit of wisdom, being a doctor. And so what was really my hope and intent in doing these particular videos is to share some of the lessons with you that I have accumulated over the years, not just the professional side of me, but also the personal side of me. So I've, certainly recognized, and I've said it a number of times through the videos, is that there is no one thing. As much as we always wish that we were just able to identify that one missing piece, my own experience tells me no, it's a combination of different things. And lessons that I have had to learn, if I am then able to share those with other people, that gives them a much better opportunity to improve their overall quality of living. And I've tried and experimented with all kinds of different things. So on the dietary front, I was vegetarian for a better part of about 10 years. I have done paleo diet. I have done keto diet. I have done carnivore diet. I, for a little bit of time, did a vegan diet. I did a raw food diet. I have had amalgam extracted from my mouth. I've gone through a detox process. I have had a couple of root canals done. I have had a long-standing number of TMJ therapies done. Somewhere in here, I also managed to have acute appendicitis that required surgery in order to resolve. I am somebody who thoroughly enjoys doing a lot of running, and not just a little bit of running. We're talking about trail running. And okay, we're not just talking about trail, we're talking about somebody who loves doing marathon and ultras. Not fast, mind you, but lots and lots of time on feet. So I think you can appreciate, this is somebody who is perhaps a little bit neurotic, and that's okay. I had experienced an eating disorder for 10 years, going back a few decades. And so I can also attest how a person, no matter how well educated or quote unquote smart they might be, I know what it's like where you feel like you're fighting an uphill battle against your own self, which isn't very fun. It says, just be smarter, do better. It's like, no, not that easy when you are dealing with addiction, whatever form it is going to be. As somebody who is also, you gathered, quite very analytical, I want to know all of the facts, the details, the data, the science. And yet I do know through my own experience and what you can feel. And also somebody who, again, is not necessarily in touch with his emotions as well as he can and needs to be, that there is more to life than just this. There's this other side. Again, the human being, we are both the physical, the matter, the brain, but we're also the mind, and we're everything that goes much well and beyond that. And I'm also very much a human being. So I'm both a husband and am, very blessed to have a wonderful wife who has forgiven me a great many of times where I have not been able to step up as a human being, as an individual. I have my personal failings. She can certainly attest to that. I have had my times where I have been quite very down, quite very depressed, and nevertheless, she helps me, and we find ways to continue to improve ourselves, do the very best that we can. So in some ways, I'll say that this video series was as good for me as for you out there. If you ever really want to learn something, teach it to somebody else. And maybe that's one of the reasons I like, teaching so much, because I still have oh so terribly much to learn. But again, that was kind of the reason why I wanted to share these particular videos, and also wanted to do this little video at the end with just a little bit of me rambling in this way. But just so that you can, hear again that as much as we try to come off and have a nice polished image all of the times, and of course, we always show up to help people the very best that we can, all doctors at the end of the day, we are human as well. We do the best that we can with the knowledge that we have from our own experiences, from our own knowledge base, and then also from the collective wisdom that we are able to acquire over a period of time. There's a good chunk of the time where, in all honesty, we are wrong. But we are honestly wrong. In fact, I'm sure that there's going to be things when I would redo these videos in a few years. I will tweak, I will modify it, I will prove it, because I have more experiences. I say this to some of my most challenging clients, is that I wish I could give you the version of me 10 years from now, because he will hopefully have solved some of the things that are most challenging right at this moment. In the same way that I can look back on things that would have been very challenging 10 years ago, I can identify them, very quickly, very easily right now. So a lot of different moving pieces when it comes to health. And again, not just health, but because of how it influences our entire life expression in oh so terribly many ways. So again, I do thank you very, very much for your time, your attention. Hopefully you did some of the exercise as well. And again, hopefully you are going to take something away from these videos that is going to help improve your quality of life a substantial amount. Now, in that same breath, because I wrapped the videos up relatively quickly, I wanted to ask you then for just a few favors, if you would. Don't worry, this is not going to be hard. And it has to do with, being able to help make the world a better place. There's a quote that I often will say. I've kind of adopted it I've adopted it as my own now. It's that may the world be a better place because you and I have lived in it. So there's a number of different ways that we can do that. So one of the first simple ones that I would ask is, if you haven't already done so, please do like the videos that you actually had the chance to watch. Because if you click the like button, and especially if you hit the subscribe button, what that does is that's going to help the internet algorithms recognize, hey, this is a video of importance, so we can help get this information to more people who need to, basically find it out so that they can improve their quality of life. So that's number one. Number two, again, if you haven't already done so, please do share these videos, share the PDFs with your friends, your family members, other people who you believe would benefit from having access to all of this information. It's one of the reasons why I have not done it where any of these videos are behind a paywall, or where you have to hand over your email address to me in order to get this secret information. No, all of this, in my opinion, needs to be available for everybody who wants it. Now, if, of course, number three, you do want some more information, awesome, please. I'll put a link at the end of this video here where you can sign up to a newsletter. I do it approximately once a month, so I'm not spamming you to death. Sometimes there's a little bit more. And it's just keeping in touch where you've got my contact details. I'm not a hard person to get a hold of, where you can get more, direct access to these kind of videos, let you know kind of what's happening, whatnot, in terms of my own practice and all of that sort of stuff right there. But on that note, by having the ability where you can reach out to me, and I will personally answer this, I'd like to say it's going to be instantly, but I try to be as quick as I can. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. That if you have any particular questions or topics that you would like to be addressed, if I'm qualified to speak on them, I will put together a video. I won't identify anybody, and please, we don't need to get into specific details, and none of it's ever going to be personalized health advice. But nevertheless, if you've got a question or something you'd like to know about, the truth is there's probably thousands of other people with that exact same question looking for that exact same answer. So by being willing to reach out and ask the question, I will do the best that I can to be able to assist, even if sometimes that's just redirecting you to another source, because I certainly do not have all of the answers. The last one then, number 4. This one is if where you might have something where you want to reach out to us personally and see, okay, you're looking for some personalized health advice. I'd be, humbled and honored to be even considered on your health team. I'd like to say that I'd be the whole person to solve your issues, but as we said, that's not how it works. One member on the team, but hopefully a valuable member on your team. So I am found at Clear Chiropractic in Spokane. We've got 2 offices currently in the north, one in the south. And so we're talking about the Pacific Northwest, that kind of region right there. And you can check us out one of 2 places. So we've got the major company website, which is clearchiro.com. I'll put links down in the end. And then if you want to see more blogs and articles, things that I write personally, you can go to my personal website, which is uppercervicalspokane.com. Now, if you are not in the Eastern Washington, Western Idaho region, but you still want to find somebody in your state or in your country who does some of the work similar to what I do, I would recommend first you go over to blairchiropractic.com. And if you can't find anybody there, I would recommend going to one of 2 sites. It's going to be either uppercervical.com or uppercervicalcare.com or upcspine.com, where you've got a directory of people who have the same kind of advanced training, the same kinds of qualifications that I do. So even though you may not be seeing me, myself, and I and my personality, you'd be seeing somebody who would be quite as competent, quite as capable of being able to help you out as I would. I'm only one person. I'm not able to, of course, I can share the information to thousands of people in a single go, but I can't exactly, do all of this direct work all on my own. So it's good that there's, of course, a network of people around the world who are able to do so. So again, just as we're wrapping up, right there, I just wanted to say more of like a personal hello. So not just the professional face you see in the videos, but also so that I'm a real human being here as well. That again, I am very appreciated that you have taken the time to watch the videos all the way through. Hope you enjoyed them, and at some point down the track, please do not hesitate to reach out at me. It would be a pleasure and a delight to hear from you. So until then, everyone, take care, live well, stay well, be well. Bye everyone.